What's good, sports family? Breaking news yesterday in the NFL. Yes, there's been a trade between the New York Giants and the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's get into it. So, the New York Giants traded, yes, Dexter Lawrence to the Cincinnati Bengals. As the Bengals, they sent the Giants a number 10th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Wow. Let's get why the Giants did this. The Giants did this because of contract drama plus trade request. Lawrence wanted a new deal and negotiation hit a wall. He even requested a trade and skipped off-season activities. Second one, team direction and rebuild. The Giants are retooling and now have the two top 10 picks, the number 5 and the number 10. That gives them the flexibility to rebuild their roster fast. Third one, cap plus long-term flexibility. Moving Lawrence clears a big salary and avoids paying a massive extension. The Giants chose future assets and flexibility over paying a star they weren't aligned with anymore. Now, the Bengals, why they did this? I don't know why. Win now, move. The Bengals are trying to compete for a Super Bowl right now, especially with Joe Burrow in his prime. Instead of a rookie, they get a proven elite defensive lineman. Second one, fixing a weak defense. Their defense, especially against the run, needed help badly. Lawrence is a dominant interior presence who can anchor the line. Third one, certainty over draft risk. At number 10, there's no guarantee to get a star. With Lawrence, they get a 3-time Pro Bowler already proven in the NFL. So the Bengals pretty much traded the picks because they wanted a sure thing on defense immediately. This is very interesting for both sides because, as you know, Lawrence was drafted by the Giants. He is a Pro Bowler because of the Giants. And the fact that the Giants didn't really want to pay him that money, which I find it quite interesting, but kind of not quite interesting because the Giants are kind of I don't know why with money. It's weird. But the fact that they seen something that we don't know. You can say his injuries, you can say his personality, you can say this, you can say that. No, but we don't know why. We don't know why. But for the Giants to get the 10th overall pick, it shows something. They don't view him as a long-term piece. They do not want to pay him a lot of money, even though he's proven that he definitely should get a lot of money of how well he is. But that's what the Giants want to do. That's what the Giants want to do. They want to rebuild that part of their defense again. But their defense is still good. Just that one specific defense they need to, that position that they want to fix. But their defense is much better than the Bengals defense right now. But that's why they're able to, trade him away. And they have 2 top picks. So definitely can find really good talent to replace them at that position. But as for the Bengals defense is a little bit of a mess. They have 9, 8, 10 other holes they got to fill. You lost Henderson in free agency. You have other pieces that just weren't working out. They need a lot of help on defense. Offense, not so much. I think you would say offensive line more. But defense is a major problem right now. They haven't had a top defense since the Super Bowl. When they went to it, they lost. But give you Lawrence as a player would definitely help them upgrade at that position, but also the fact that they were struggling when it came to the run and etc. Now, you may think, oh my God, this team's still bad. We should be filling more defensive holes. Of course, I get it. The 10th overall pick is pretty high. But you get a 2-time, 3-time Pro Bowler who helps you a lot in that position with 1 pick. Usually you traded for a player like him for like 2 or 3 more picks. You gotta say that. Usually 4 picks that gets involved when it comes to a player like him. Or any player you want to stay at a high level. But I'll say that it's a lot to dissect right now. It's a lot to take in because we're not truly sure what the Bengals play. We're not really sure what they're going to do right now after trading away the 10th overall pick and how they're going to draft. They've been drafting well on offense, we'll say that. But defense, it's been a little bit shaky. Some players came and helped. but some players went and didn't help. So it's a little tricky on the Bengals side of what they're gonna do. Uh, yeah, it's very tricky. Their defense isn't looking good like they were. The same thing last year, I feel like, right now. So we just wait and see. But Giants fans, you definitely should be happy about it. Yes, you're losing Lawrence, but you get 2 top 10 picks in the draft. Where the draft has really good players. It's less quarterbacks, which is perfect, and more other talents on defense and also offense, which is like wide receivers. So you have a better chance of rebuilding your team much easier than a heavy quarterback draft. As you know, many times in the NFL draft, there's multiple heavy quarterbacks, or it could be heavy running backs, and you don't really have it. Even with the Giants, where they have Barkley, there was multiple times with a lot of heavy running back classes, and you're like, what the? So now they have much more options in other positions because you can definitely fill in that gap that you need to. But the Giants, like I said, Giants fans, be happy about this. You definitely have a much faster pace of rebuilding. You really have a head coach in Harbaugh who is more old school. You have a stable quarterback in Jackson Dart. You have a good running back in Scadaboo. Wide receiver, Neighbors. You might even draft a really good wide receiver. Sounds like a couple of names are popping up already. Defense, yes, you lost one of your key pieces, but still a good defense. You draft. Maybe you'll sign someone in the offseason, maybe after the draft. But yeah, I can't give you who they'll draft, but I know the fact they're going to draft one of the top wide receivers as a 5th pick because they want to pair him up with Malik Neighbors. I forgot the name of that wide receiver, but the 10th overall pick is definitely going to find that position is going to replace the player that they just traded away. That's what I think. That's what I truly think. They want to find a player who can stop the run and also pair a wide receiver up with Malik Neighbors. And I think that'll be perfect. If they can do that, they did amazing in this draft. But going back to the Bengals fans, as many of you guys know, Bengals are my second favorite team. I got family that lives in Ohio. They're huge Bengals fans. I want to think positive, but I gotta think more negative about your organization because the owner, the master GM, doesn't even know what he's doing. I get it, they were trying to rebuild the offensive line, but I'm still not confident in the offensive line. I get it, you got, Lawrence to come in and help anchor that defense, and you need help in the run, but we just have to wait for the Bengals. I have no positive or negative things. I'm right in the middle. And now, who won this trade? Who lost this trade? I'm going to say the Giants, because you get a 10th overall pick for a player who you didn't want to sign long term, and the fact that the Bengals are definitely not going to be as competitive as the Ravens and the Steelers and maybe even the Browns in that division is, yeah. And I get it. He was a big piece on that Giants defense, but if you don't have the money or you don't want to trade him and you get a 10th overall pick, that's good. You have two top 10 picks in the draft. That's really good. But who knows? Maybe it might bite the Giants in the butt later on down the road. But right now, the Giants won this trade because the fact they get a 10th overall pick, and they can definitely get a younger and less money of a player to fill in that hole instead of paying him that big contract. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments who won this trade, who lost the trade. You think the Giants are going to regret it, or you think the Bengals are going to be like, we should have drafted someone younger and not pay him this money? And yeah, I'll see you guys next video. Oh, by the way, the Bengals haven't signed him yet to a contract, but for them to do this, it sounds like they're going to sign him to a long-term contract. I'm not sure when, but soon. And when they do, I'll make a YouTube short about it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.